We usually think of evolution as this ancient thing that happened to us, right? But what if I told you it's something we're actually doing to ourselves, right now? In this explainer, we're going to see how technology, from that very first spark of fire all the way to AI, isn't just changing our world, it's actively rewriting what it even means to be human. So to really get a handle on where we're going, we have to go way, way back. I want you to picture the world 200,000 years ago. Early humans, we were just another animal out there on the savanna. Our entire lives were run by the seasons, by the predators, and by the slow, grinding process of natural selection. And then, boom, everything changed. We harnessed fire. And this was so much more than just staying warm or cooking food. This was the first time we ever took a basic force of nature and actually bent it to our will. That one move, that single bit of technology, it set us on a completely different evolutionary path. Okay, now let's fast forward to today. That same kind of fundamental change, that deep rewiring, it's happening all over again. But here's the difference. It's not taking thousands of years. It's happening in our own lifetimes. It's happening as we speak. And that, right there, is the heart of what we're talking about. This isn't really about the newest phone or some cool app. It's about the quiet, almost invisible ways that the things we create are changing us from the inside out. Our minds, our bodies, our very identity. So what does this all lead to? Well, it's a pretty wild idea that technology has become its very own force of evolution, running on a parallel track to the natural kind we all learned about in biology class. Just look at this comparison. It really lays it all out. On one hand, you have natural evolution. It's incredibly slow. It's patient. It's kind of random, playing out over millions of years. On the other hand, you've got technological evolution. It's lightning fast, it's deliberate, and it's driven entirely by human design. You could almost call it evolution by intention. And to see just how deep this goes, we don't even have to guess about the future. We can just look at our own past and see how this has already happened, again and again. Okay, check out this timeline. Every single one of these was a total game changer. Fire gave us more calories from our food, which literally fueled the growth of our brains. Making tools didn't just help us hunt, it actually reshaped our hands. The invention of writing, that let us offload our memories onto paper, freeing up our brains to do other things. Even electricity totally re-engineered our sleep cycles. Each of these was way more than a tool. It was like a biological upgrade. So here's the key takeaway, right? These things didn't just make life easier. They were transformative. Every single one reached deep inside us and reconfigured our hardware and our software. Which brings us right here to this very moment. Because that same exact process of rewiring, it's happening to all of us right now. Yeah, just let that sink in for a second. This isn't some sci-fi future. We are literally the generation living through one of the fastest evolutionary shifts our species has ever seen. And it's not some abstract thing. Look at how it's playing out every single day. Our phones, they've basically become external hard drives for our brains. We've outsourced our natural sense of direction to GPS. Social media has literally rewired our attention spans for quick, constant hits of information. And now, AI is starting to take over thinking tasks that we always thought made us, well, human. So when you step back and look at the big picture, a really clear pattern starts to show up. We are systematically outsourcing the core functions of our own intelligence to our devices. For the longest time, the big question was always about what our technology could do. We were fascinated by its capabilities, but it turns out we might have been asking the wrong question all along. The real question, the one that actually matters now, is this one. As we plug ourselves more and more into our technology, what kind of person is coming out on the other side? And this is where things get, well, both incredible and maybe a little unsettling. Because for the first time in history, our own evolution is becoming a matter of conscious design. I mean, the stuff that's coming next is on a whole other level. We're talking about brain-computer interfaces that could link our minds directly to machines, genetic editing that could let us rewrite our own DNA, and of course, advanced AI that's getting ready to handle even more of our thinking for us. Think about that. This is the moment. We're shifting from being a product of evolution to being the ones in charge of it. It's like we're picking up the pen and starting to write the next chapter of our own story ourselves. But having all that power, well, it comes with a huge,
unanswered question, a real tension at the heart of all this progress.
And this right here, this is the dilemma. Does having all the information in the world at our fingertips actually make us smarter? Or does it just make our own minds weaker because we don't need to remember anything? Does being connected to everyone all the time make us feel more together or somehow more alone? For every step forward that makes us more capable, there's this shadow that makes us more dependent. And the thing is, there's no stopping this. There's no pause button on evolution. We can't just call it time out and figure it all out. The engine is running, and if anything, it's speeding up. So that leaves us with the big one, the question of our time. As we build these incredible tools into our lives, into our bodies, are we upgrading ourselves into something better? Or are we just creating a really comfortable, convenient way to make ourselves obsolete? For the very first time, that choice is actually up to us.